Ladies and gentlemen, live from Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Wednesday or Saturday, and you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite or Collision Event Center. And now here's the man that will bring you the happenings of AEW All Elite Wrestling action, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Lima Shenanigans in 1977, episode 2221. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed Saturday evening. I know most of y'all are coming home from a great night out, if you have a day off, or a hard day at work, or a hard night at work, and you want to sit down, or lay down, get some sleep, wake up next day to go to church, or spend time with family, and all that, and have some little fun. It's May. May is here. Cinco de Mayo is coming up this coming Monday, and all that good stuff. But in my position, just had the day off. It's had a great day, relaxing, chilling out, watching the Red Sox. They lost. Watching Collision, and straightening some things out and organizing some things now due to. As you know, when I do make a thumbnail, I usually make a thumbnail for the wrestling event centers. I do something different when I decide to, in my doc icons, but the doc icons I make, little circles and all that, is inspired by the people at DeviantArt who make the doc icons. I figured I can make some on my own, and I'm learning how to make them and stuff, and being part of the wallpaper of the thumbnails I make for my YouTube channel, as you know. And because of now, I made an NXT event center with the lovely, curvaceous, and babylicious Gigi Dolan as part of my thumbnails for a few years, but she got released, and due to that, I had made a change. So I made a change in my thumbnail. Gigi Dolan's been replaced with Zarya, while on SmackDown, Katana Chance got released, so I replaced Katana Chance with Nia Jax. As she's trying to get back in the storyline and getting back in the title picture, so for the SmackDown Event Center. So there'll be new thumbnails, and the thumbnail will be part of the intro starting this coming week, and I'm pretty stoked about it. As you know, with the releases, there could be an influx of new talent coming in, and because and everything else, will some of the talent go to TNA, or AEW, or go to Stardom, or whatever, and some of the releases, of course. The latest release, though, Danny Palmer has confirmed that she has been released as well. I know she has a relationship with Tank Ledger, so I don't know how that's going to work out for him. But I'm kind of hoping that they still stay together, because I thought, Tank Ledger, guys like him, getting a girl like Danny Palmer gives us guys like me hope, Anyways, so there is that, and as you know, I had a great time. I watched the Red Sox lose. It was a tough game. I think it's kind of you lose part of that line when Tristan Casas gets hurt. So, well, right now he's on a 10-day DL. I don't know if it's gonna be longer than that. We'll find out for sure. I have tried the Frosted Yeets. It tastes good. It does taste like Frosted Flakes. If you love Frosted Flakes, you'll love Frosted Yeets, man. Frosted Yeets, I loved it, and I want to thank the folks at Fanatics. I want to thank Jay Uso for coming out with a cereal like this, and I was really stoked to the max. So, will I eat another bowl? Oh, heck yes, I will eat another bowl of Frosted Yeets, and it'll be a lot of fun to do so. All right, so bearing that in mind, speaking of wrestling, we're going to talk a little bit of AEW Collision. Now, a little special programming because of the hockey and basketball playoffs going on. Collision will be starting at 8 this Thursday, so I'll be multitasking, joining Rant and Rave, watching Impact, watching Collision on the TV. It's going to be crazy, folks. It's going to be crazy. And I'm taking notes, and I end up making mistakes and all that good stuff, running away in a minute, so... And then I got the baseball run. I might have to skip out on the baseball rundown this Thursday, so I will give my weekly report via video, message it to David, and then take it from there. So, plus, Plus, we're going to be, we're 10 episodes away from 300 episodes of Rant and Rave. Really excited about it. So, we shall see what happens. So, if we're ready, we are going to get into AEW Collision. As you, I don't know about Collision this weekend, this coming weekend. AEW Collision, the TNT champ, Adam Cole, 1/3 of Paragon with Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, joins on commentary, and it kicked off with the women's world title eliminator matchup as the lovely, curvaceous, and babylicious, and one half of the Aussie Angels, I like to call her and Harley Cameron. That's right, timeless Toni Storm went up against the equally lovely Lady Frost. Heck of a matchup. And timeless Toni Storm, well, she won the matchup, and then with a submission hold this time around. Looks like she's got a new move. And she addresses the crowd. While cutting the promo, she's running around saying, "Hi, how you doing?" You know, all the fans don't want to take on this guy. No. And she runs outside. She says she's ready. She's here. She's queer. That's what she said. One thing about timeless Toni Storm, the woman's got no filter, and it's too funny. She's like she's like AEW's answer to the female version of R-Truth. That's how hilarious Toni Storm is. That's what I love about her. And now, and she says she'll take on anybody. So I think she's trying to get herself in sharp shape, skill sharp until All In. As you know, it will be Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter in the Women's Owen Hart Cup final. The winner of that will face timeless Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World title, or whoever the champ may be at that point at All In. So she may defend the title at Double or Nothing and lose it. Who knows for sure. So there's that. And Jon Moxley addresses that. Jon Moxley, dude, if you're the champion, you probably wear your title around your waist, not putting it in a briefcase and giving it to Marina Shafir. I'm sorry. And, it's like I'm hoping somebody would knock out Marina Shafir, take the briefcase, hold it hostage, and said, "You're not getting your title back until you're defending it." If I was running AEW as a general manager, that's exactly what I would do. And if they don't like it, they say, like, one finger on me, they get fired. That's what I would do. I don't care if it's the Young Bucks. I don't care if it's Swerve Strickland. I don't care if it's anybody. One finger on me, you're out the door for good. So that's what I would do. Anyways, he's addressing Samoa Joe. So, and then FTR and Paragon promo on their match tonight will be a 2 out of 3 falls tag team matchup. And and the other half of the Aussie Angels, like to call her, the lovely, the gorgeous, the curvaceous, babylicious, and very talented too, Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron and Toni Storm are the most entertaining ladies in AEW right now. That's what I love watching about AEW. Toni Storm and Harley Cameron. I don't know what it is about the Australian women in wrestling. They are totally entertaining. You got the Iconics, who are about as funny as entertaining. Come with the word schmick, which I like. You got to be joking me. If they're, that's why I love. I think I'm starting to love Australian women in wrestling. I mean, I'm having a thing for Toni Storm, Harley Cameron, Zarya. I mean, Zarya's a little bit more serious, but Harley Cameron and Toni Storm, beautiful, funny, can wrestle, and in fact, Harley Cameron's evolving in the wrestling department, but the entertainment factor between those two is just off the charts right now. It's just so great to see that, and that's why I always said, I've always said this time and time again, there's two things I like about AEW: timeless Toni Storm and Harley Cameron. If they decide to get together as a tag team down the road and introduce a women's tag team town AEW, I would crown them champs at this point. Or if they decided both leave AEW and say, well, and Toni Storm said, "I'm going back to the WWE. You want to come with me?" Everything's changed there. Her and Harley would have had a ball. The new Iconics. I don't know. Them versus the Iconics. In fact, if they had a Survivor Series World Cup, the Iconics, those two, and Rhea Ripley as team captain for Team Australia. And let's say one of them gets hurt. Let's say Jessica McKay or Cassie Lee. They say, "Oh, we can't make it because we're not clear to wrestle." you got Zarya as your alternative, in my opinion, and or the Iconics can't go. I put Zarya and Indy Hartwell in there. But you also got Steph DeLander as well. She's from Australia. I don't know. It's something. It's something. Okay, so I'm ranting and raving. No pun intended, of course. Harley Cameron took on Megan Bayne. Bayne won the match with the Fate's Descent, but then her and Penelope Ford attacked Cameron after the match. But Anna Jay came from behind with a 2x4 on Bayne, no effect, and Bayne grabs the 2x4 and knocks it out of her hand, but Anna Jay was about to go after her, but then Harley Cameron says, no. So I think a double or nothing tag team matchup could be on the horizon here. We shall see. Meanwhile, Jon Moxley once again addresses the crowd. Marina Shafir attacks security. What is Marina Shafir's issue? Does she have freaking PMS? Is that time of the year again? Time of the month again? Sheepers, goodness me. I wouldn't want to step in Marina Shafir's shoes. Roderick Strong, good on you for marrying the girl, but, dude, you gotta tell her to calm down. Sheepers. Anyways, and then Lexi Nair interviewed the Outsiders, and the Outsiders were really ticked off of what Roppongi Vice did to them this past Wednesday night on Dynamite, and I don't blame them one bit. Meanwhile, Brody King versus Josh Alexander, this was a hard-hitting matchup between both of them, and it ended in a time limit draw, 15-minute time limit draw. But then Brody King decided he's not done, and Lance Archer helps up Josh Alexander, and he brawls with Brody King. Referees and officials and security try to hold those two monsters back. Could you believe that? We'll get that match between, like Big E, we end up being a Big E special, big meaty men slapping meat on that one. Meanwhile, Crew addresses Top Flight, saying, finally, we're done with you, we're moving on. Meanwhile, there is a 5-minute Platinum Open challenge by Platinum Max Caster, or as I like to call him, Platinum Max Bastard, because the guy is a jerk. All right, he's up there. You're talking about biggest jerks in AEW, the Young Bucks, MJF, and Platinum Max Caster. Or if you want to add a fifth jerk, I would put Jon Moxley. Hey, the JWO, the Jerk World Order. You got Jon Moxley as the leader. You got MJF, the Young Bucks, and Platinum Max Caster. I can't stand those five guys. All they want to do is act like total jerks, And Jon Moxley and anyways, Platinum Max Caster says, who's going to challenge me? Daniel Garcia comes out, and then it counts down. In just 1 minute, he beat up on Platinum Max Caster. He beat Platinum Max Caster, and it took him 1 minute to do it. Platinum Max Caster, you need to go back to the drawing board, son. Ever since you broke up, ever since you turned your back on Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn, you're about as stupid as everybody gets out there. You got a stupid mustache, you got a stupid nose, your haircut's stupid, your look is stupid, the chant is stupid, that's why I'm not chanting it. Yeah, let's go, Platinum Max Caster, you're the best wrestler alive. No, you're not, you're the biggest jerk alive, you make the Miz, you make MJF look like a saint, for goodness sakes. That's how big of a jerk you are, man. Anyways, Daniel Garcia addresses the crowd. He says he'll address FTR after their match in the main event. Lexi Nair interviewed Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn, and Anthony Bowens still wants to continue winning, and then Blake Christian and Big Shotty Lee Johnson interrupt them. Blake Christian comes to be another jerk now. When you look at him, and ever since he split up with Elena Black, I don't know. So, anyways, the Gates of Agony were in a tag team match against the FBI. Ray Jazz and Goldie, and not Goldust, Goldie. The guy's name is Goldie, and the Gates of Agony win the matchup. Beforehand, though, the Gates of Agony addresses Big Bill and Brian Keith, who still want to prove themselves to Chris Jericho. I've heard rumors that they canceled a Fozzy concert. So, the crew was watching the match at ringside, and after the match they were taunting, like, the GOA, the Gates of Agony, said, hey, come in the ring, and then Big Bill and Brian Keith appear on the screen. Hey, up here, you guys want us? You got to come get us. So the Gates of Agony walk out of there, and after the commercial break was done, they were brawling in the parking lot, and Big Bill grabbed some random local competitor who was just walking in. He got tossed aside. Man, imagine how you go into work and all of a sudden somebody beats the crap out of you. I'd be so mad. That's what I would do. Anyways, the main event, the 2 out of 3 falls matchup between Paragon, that's Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. O'Reilly and Strong worked this match against FTR in the 2 out of 3 falls. The first fall went to Pentagon, then the second and third falls went to FTR. And then Garcia comes out with a crowbar, and they're like, put the crowbar down. I'm saying, I ain't going to put nothing down, because I'm going to hold it while you let me talk. If you don't let me talk, you're going to get it with the crowbar. I'm holding on the crowbar to guard myself from you idiots so I can talk. So, and that's what Dan Garcia did. He challenged either member of FTR. I would challenge Stokely Hathaway and give him a wedgie, you know. You know what I mean? He looks like the love child of Kevin Hart and Ricochet. You know what I mean? Now, Ricochet, he's turned out to be another jerk on the planet. But anyways, I digress. So, that's all the time we have on episode 2221 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. AEW Collision Event Center for May the 3rd, 2025. Thank you for tuning in. What's going to happen tomorrow? I don't know. I know it's church tomorrow, that's for sure. So I'm getting everything ready here. So I will see you guys later. Guys, have a wonderful, blessed day and blessed night. Get some sleep. Have a good night. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.